First tonight, a breaking news alert, and that breaking news alert is out of Kanawha County, where crews are on the scene trying to clean up a tractor-trailer accident along I-64.
Now this is eastbound near mile marker 50. That's right between Institute and Cross lanes. The slow and the middle lanes are closed at this time. News Channel 3's Nathan Takich is live along I-64, where crews are working very hard, trying to work fast in all that rain to get things back to normal.
And Amanda and Tim, a little bit of a breakthrough just came down the way through emergency officials here. They actually just pulled one of the two trucks that crashed and went down the embankment. One of the two trucks is now up and out of the embankment. This all, of course, in between those cross lanes and Institute exits. The two tractor trailers crashed into each other, rolled down the hill in a very busy area for accidents recently, I'm told. Several vehicles have been in this same embankment this month, especially in an area that's missing over 400 feet of guardrail. And the first tractor trailer today that went down into this embankment did go into the area without that guardrail protection. Of course, the second tractor trailer also embankment. So Department of Transportation workers say a guardrail probably wouldn't have made a difference in this particular case. But they say all these recent accidents means it might be time to look twice at current road safety conditions.
Yeah, we may have to look at some other options and get traffic engineering involved, get some of our other people involved and see if this is a hot spot, for accidents. Maybe there's other methods we can use. But right now, guardrail is what we have. So we might even need to look at reducing the speed limit in this area too. That could be a very good possibility.
So right now, emergency crews are pulling that second truck out of the embankment. They're also working to clear a bunch of debris from the highway. The first tractor trailer, a FedEx truck, a bunch of toys and boxes all over the highway. They have to clean that up. Department of Transportation workers say this is going to take at least another 1 or 2 hours. Some emergency officials are less optimistic, say this could take well into the evening. In the meantime, the two slow lanes are closed. The fast lane is open, and emergency crews expect it to stay that way throughout this entire process.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. Now, of course, as he mentioned, this is a stretch of road that we've been keeping our eye on for a couple of weeks now. We just did the story yesterday, actually, about the guardrail not being replaced. It's been gone since August 18th. We'll continue to follow this story with whatever they decide to do in that area right here on WSAZ and on the web channel, WSAZ.com. Interstate 64 is not the only place with backups today. This is video of the traffic along I-77 near mile marker 95 this afternoon, right as you're kind of going from Charleston to the Kanawha City area. Cars were stopped after another tractor trailer accident and several other small accidents. Emergency crews were able to get everything cleaned up. Traffic is moving once again this evening in that area, at least. The heavy rains also caused an issue today for some drivers in cross lanes. Check this out. The water rose on New Gulf Mountain Road near the Golden Corral. Of course, this always a trouble spot when it rains. One driver did try to go through and they got stuck. If the water looks high, they always say, turn around, don't drown, don't even try to drive through it.
Another breaking news alert out of Raleigh County, where the northbound lanes of the West Virginia Turnpike are closed after a murder suspect from Georgia was shot and killed. This is what traffic looked like just a short time ago in North Beckley, right near the 49-mile marker. West Virginia State Police tell us it was an officer-related shooting that ended in the death of a murder suspect out of Georgia. Investigators are still on the scene. No other information is being released at this time. The drivers, obviously, urge to avoid that area if possible. You can head over to WSAZ Mobile and WSAZ.com for updates. Now to a WSAZ investigation where something so common has become so difficult to protect.
Yeah, we're talking about our drinking water. It's been nearly 2 years since that chemical spill that contaminated the water supply for hundreds of thousands in West Virginia. And we've uncovered one of the investigations launched after the spill at Freedom Industries never really started. News Channel 3's Matt Heckle joins us now, and this is an investigation that deals with how West Virginia American Water actually responded to that spill.
Yeah, that's right, Amanda. Now, the Public Service Commission actually launched an investigation just 4 months after the spill. It was designed to look at a variety of things, including how quickly water intake valves were closed to protect our water supply. But we found out that a lack of commissioners has actually brought that investigation to a halt. In May of 2014, the PSC launched an investigation into West Virginia American Water's response to the Freedom Industries chemical spill and how quickly the water intake valves were closed. We've found that investigation is at a standstill.
It's halted. It's not going anywhere.
And we found out why. The Public Service Commission doesn't have enough commissioners to investigate. The PSC is made up of 3 commissioners, but they're down to 2 because one of them resigned last December, and that position has never been filled. We asked Governor Earl Ray Tomblin why it's taken nearly a year and an appointment hasn't yet been made.
We need the right mix on there, and we have been for several months. We continue every day to look at applications, people who are interested in serving.
The governor says it's crucial the commission is represented by both political parties and all areas of the state.
I believe it's been the longest time there's been a vacancy since they've had the Public Service Commission law in effect.
State law requires at least 2 commissioners to be active in an investigation. That would allow the investigation into West Virginia American Water's response to continue without that 3rd commissioner. However, one of the 2 current commissioners has recused himself from the investigation. Commissioner Mike Albert recused himself last year, citing his history of representing the water company as a private attorney, saying his impartiality may be questioned. However, he still votes on water company rate hikes.
But he has not recused himself from the rate case, and never has.
The Public Service Commission confirmed to WSAZ Albert has never recused himself from rate hike cases because they deal with current conditions, and any rate case Albert was a part of happened after he stopped representing West Virginia American Water. But the recusal still leaves the commission without the ability to move forward. Governor Tomblin assures the public the investigation will stay on course once a new commissioner is appointed. However, he wouldn't give us a timetable. In fact, he says he's not about to act too quickly.
Finding those right people, in my opinion, is very important because the decisions they make affect everyone's lives in West Virginia.
Despite the lag, Governor Tomblin insists the water company will still be held accountable for the January 2014 spill.
There's plenty of eyes on the cleanup that's going on, the water company and so forth.
But Kanawha County Commission President Ken Carper understands why many are beginning to lose faith.
I think the longer the delay goes on, the more confident the water company becomes in their not being held accountable.
Well, we reached out to the Public Service Commission to try and get a comment from Commissioner Albert. However, he declined. Now, a spokesperson for West Virginia American Water did tell us tonight that they look forward to the commission's completion of that investigation. They also say they're going to use those findings to try and help improve their operations.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. Before the investigation stalled, the PSC ordered the company to release more information about the spill. Commissioners say after looking over some of the documents, it was apparent they significantly withheld information. The company, you might remember, filed new documents in January, but because of the vacancy at the PSC with the commissioners, they haven't been able to say whether or not those documents were sufficient. The Public Service Commission is holding 9 public hearings on that proposed 28% rate hike increase for water company customers. The first hearings will take place tomorrow in Lewis County, with hearings scheduled in Huntington on Thursday at 1 and at 6 p.m. The final hearing will be at 6 o'clock on October 26th at the PSC office right here in Charleston.
It's a story that might have you wondering today, do you really know who your neighbors are? A man wanted for murder was arrested in Huntington on Monday afternoon. News Channel 3's Caitlin LeBeau joins us now. And Caitlin, neighbors actually had nothing bad to say about this man. His name is Lionel Walker, even after knowing that he's suspected of some crimes, pretty serious ones too.
Right, a little bit surprising, Tim, because Walker's been on the run for about 5 years, and U.S. Marshals tell us for the last 2 years he's been living here in Huntington. Walker was arrested Monday in the 1500 block of the Markham Terrace Apartments. Neighbors were shocked to find out not only was he wanted for murder, he was one of Philadelphia's most wanted. Walker's facing charges of murder and conspiracy in connection with a shooting that happened in Philadelphia back in 2010. However, Walker isn't accused of pulling the trigger. Walker allegedly drove his cousin to the victim's house and had his cousin shoot the victim. The shooter claims the victim is the one who shot Walker a little bit before that, leaving him paralyzed. He's accused of intentionally, knowingly, recklessly, or negligently causing a death. But neighbors say Walker was always nice. They say even humble, so they were shocked to see the marshals at his doorstep.
No, I'm not scared. I wouldn't be scared of him if he came up here right now. I don't know any other way to put it, but he was a very nice guy. I mean, who would ever dream Philly's most wanted is living next door to us? Yeah, you know, it's a small world. You just don't never know.
The U.S. Marshal who arrested Walker says that Walker told them he has some friends and family here in Huntington, so that's why he came here to lay low. And essentially, Tim, they say they just followed the money, and that's how they were able to track him down.
Very interesting the way that developed. Thanks, Caitlin. And Mr. Walker will appear in front of Cabell County Circuit Court later this week for an extradition hearing back to Philly. For now, though, he is being held at Western Regional without bond. A man wanted for a murder in January was arrested last night by Kanawha County Sheriff's detectives. According to deputies, Gerald Maxwell was arrested last night and charged with murder, attempted murder, wanton endangerment, and malicious wounding. This is all in connection to the Rand murder of Christopher Snacks Carey and the attempted murder of Letitia Crawford. Carey was found dead lying in the middle of Sterling Drive on January 23rd. And William Little and Todd Hodge were arrested back in March, also charged in connection with that shooting.
A man who drove his motorcycle into a restricted area of a construction zone while intoxicated will spend the next few years on home confinement. Ronald Underwood is 56 years old. He was in court today for a sentencing on his 4th DUI. The judge ordered him to home confinement for 1 to 3 years. He'll also participate in the Kanawha County Day Report program. He previously pleaded guilty to the incident that happened on I-77 near the Leon Sullivan exit. The overdose of a 21-month-old girl is now under investigation. Deputies in Boone County say she was able to get her hands on Suboxone, a drug used to treat opioid addiction. Members of the Boone County Sheriff's Department are looking into the incident. The child was taken to Boone Memorial Hospital, then flown to CAMC. Boone deputies arrested and charged 26-year-old Nicholas Price with child neglect, resulting in serious injuries. Deputies say Price left the drug where the toddler could get it. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison. September is all about disaster preparedness, and although the month is quickly wrapping up, Bridge Valley Community and Technical College held a preparedness workshop today. The college chief of police provided useful tips about planning for disasters. He says as a community police officer, he wants to make sure staff and students have information to keep them aware and alert at all times.
If you're prepared, then you can avoid panic, and we know what panic does. So giving them more confidence, enabling them to, I want to say, be more alert and be more aware, but confidence and not allowing them to go into the panic mode so that they will be able to handle any situation.
Bridge Valley is partnered with Ready West Virginia to provide useful tools. They say to make sure you have water on hand at all times, have a flashlight, and make sure you have extra batteries. Also, a battery-powered radio that does not food that does not need refrigerated, and keep extra prescription medications on hand in a first aid kit. Still ahead at 6, another look at that accident cleanup on I-64 has a lot of people not at home for dinner tonight. 2 tractor trailers crashed near Institute and Cross Lanes. More after the break.
First warning weather.
Here's a live look with our West Virginia LiDAR cam in downtown Huntington. We have overcast skies in place, but notice that the rain has come to an end, at least for a brief moment. We're actually seeing a nice little dry break for much of our region right now, especially as you're traveling south of Interstate 64. But we are expecting showers to stick around through much of the evening, and of course that's going to have an impact on our temperatures. Let's take a look at what we're seeing locally with our current temperatures. Right now it's in the lower 70s, 71 in downtown Huntington, Charleston sitting at 71 degrees as well. The only 60s we're seeing right now is as we move into our higher elevation, 69 as we head out into Beckley. But still a warmer start to our evening. We will stay warm through the night with these overcast skies in place, but as we fast forward into your forecast tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures struggling to pull into the upper 60s, and that's a trend that will continue for quite some time. You can see with our HD Doppler right now, as I mentioned, along and south of Interstate 64, we're actually seeing a nice little dry break before the next round of showers moves in from the west, now stretching through in central portions of Kentucky. We have some downpours that are still in place, especially traveling just east of 77, moving through into the Grantsville and Spencer area. We also have some scattered downpours as we move into those higher elevations, in particular Fayetteville and the Summersville area, getting in on those heavy showers. The heaviest of rainfall right now now, though, is in southern Ohio. That's stretching through and affecting much of southern Ohio right now. Very widespread, moving eastward through MacArthur down into Jackson County and affecting much of the 35 stretch. That's making its way eastward and eventually will move into the Pomeroy and Point Pleasant area before eventually shifting into northern portions of West Virginia as well. There's the showers that are moving in for later tonight. That's going to continue a shower chance for our region locally. Meanwhile, the heaviest of rainfall and the concern for flash flooding continues to shift to our east. As we move through our futurecast, you'll see that potential for showers through the night, even as we approach the midnight hours. Waking up tomorrow morning, the best chance of rain looking to move through with any heavy showers. As we head into the afternoon, although shower chances will linger, you can see that they're not quite as widespread and they're going to be more scattered and lighter in nature. That continues into late tomorrow night as well, as we eventually start to see more scattered activity heading into your Thursday morning. Here's what's ahead for tonight, though. We're looking to see temperatures dropping into the mid-60s. Not much of a drop because those heavy clouds are in place. Showers linger into your forecast tomorrow as well. We'll see them become more scattered and light as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures struggling to pull at the upper 60s tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to stay in the 60s through much of your work week and weekend. In fact, Friday, we're seeing temperatures topping out in the lower 60s with overnight lows falling into the 40s. Also, as we head into the weekend, a few passing showers as Tropical Storm Joaquin moves up the East Coast.
Cleanup still underway on I-64 where two tractor trailers went over the hillside between Cross Lanes and Institute.
This is 64 East in the same area that hundreds of feet of guardrail already missing, Tim, from accidents earlier this month and one in August. News Channel 3's Nathan Tackett is live on 64 where crews are still there cleaning up.
And Amanda, one truck is out. Emergency crews working to hook that truck up to a tow truck to get it out of the area so they can start working on some other issues that are in here right now. As you can see behind me, this truck, like I said, being hooked up to the tow truck. There is a lot of debris on the road from this FedEx tractor trailer that crashed. Now crews have to clean that area up and get a second tractor trailer out of the nearby embankment. Department of Transportation officials still, that could still take at least 1 to 2 more hours. However, some emergency crews are a little less optimistic and say this could take well into the evening. In the meantime, the two slow lanes here on I-64 eastbound are closed. They're going to keep the fast lane open. Hopefully, as soon as possible, traffic will be cleared and traffic will be able to proceed through normally.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. Frustrating for so many people who are still on the road right now. We'll have much more for you tonight at 10 and 11. We'll keep you posted all throughout the evening on WSAZ Mobile and WSAZ.com as soon as we know when the road will reopen.
Still to come, heading to Oklahoma, and Doc Holliday weighs in on Devin Johnson's injury. Keith's up next with sports. Keith in to check sports, and anytime a favorite player goes down, there's always a collective.
Yeah, when's he coming back? And there's been a lot of rumor and innuendo about what is wrong with Devin Johnson. He got a high ankle sprain, we think we know. And Coach Doc Holliday announcing today, or at least jumping right into his weekly news conference by addressing the injury concerns of running back Devin Johnson. Coach Holliday said Johnson is day-to-day and talked about what goes into when an injured player can get back on the field.
We'll never put a kid being Devin or anybody else in situations they're going to get hurt in a game. That's not the, and our coaches respect those doctors, and from the head coach on down, when the doctors and the trainers make every decision that we make as far as whether a player plays or not the coaches.
So we'll see if he goes Saturday. Coach Holliday came right out and said Marshall Special Teams won the game against Kent on Saturday. Kickoffs, punts, return game all working well. The obvious highlight, DeAndre Reeves' 93-yard kickoff return that got the Herd back in striking distance.
You know, anytime you make a play on special teams, a touchdown, a big play, whatever, change the field position, it always gets everybody excited and a little juiced up. And I felt, that return is exactly what we needed to pull through with the win.
And so it begins for West Virginia, a gauntlet of games in October. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. They go to Baylor, to TCU. But first, the Sooners in Norman. Dana Holgerson with his game face on.
They got a lot of things going on for them. They got great players, great coaches. And when I go back, my history with Oklahoma has always been about what they do defensively more than anything. And they look like they're as good as they've been on defense. Mike Stoops has been there for a while. coupled with Bob, who has a hand in the defense as well. You know, that same type of scheme that they went against us last year and got about the same players that they had last year. So.
And it's a top 25 matchup. Noon Saturday, Oklahoma has beaten Akron 41-3, Tennessee 31-24, and Tulsa 52-38. Talk a little other college Saturday action going on. Ohio goes to Akron, 2 o'clock, Infocision Stadium. The Indiana Hoosiers, surprising so far, invite Ohio State in, and Kentucky is host to Eastern Kentucky Saturday night. Finally, high school football rankings are in for this week in West Virginia. Cabell, Midland, and Huntington. How about that? Top of the field. Point Pleasant's 3rd, Capitals 5th, George Washington 7th, Spring Valley 13th, Hurricane at 16th. In Class AA, Fairmont Senior leads the pack. Chapmanville's 4th, Tulsa Rebels 7th. Roane County, Mingo Central, Liberty Raleigh, Nicholas County all in the top 16. And in Class Single A, the Man Hillbillies staying atop the crowd at number 1, Williamstown 7, Buffalo 8, Tug Valley 10, and Wirt County in at 16. Tim, Kellyanne, and Amanda back after this.
A final check of your forecast this evening. Temperatures starting off near 70 out there right now. We have rainfall pushing through with some areas of downpours, so still keep an eye out for some areas of ponding water, especially as we move into the overnight hours. Temperatures looking to fall into the mid-60s, looking to see that shower chance linger. Much of your Wednesday forecast will be gloomy and cool. We're topping out in the upper 60s, and those shower chances will linger. However, the heaviest chance of rain is expected for the morning as it slowly starts to shift eastward as we head into the afternoon.
All right, Kellyanne, thanks. Certainly a slick night out there on the roads. We've seen it with 64 today, 77. Take it easy as you head out tonight.
Definitely be careful. And don't forget, you can always catch your news, sports, and weather on WSAZ Mobile and WSAZ.com. We'll see you tonight at 10 on the CW and once again here at 11 on WSAZ. Have a great night.